Now what this chapter tells, equation of a line, is that every line, any line that's drawn has an equation. Okay, so like say the equation is this: x minus 2y plus 5 is equal to 0. This is an equation. In this equation, what all you see? You see an x term, you see a y term, and you see a number term. Have you seen like these equations before? When quadratic, you didn't have x and y, you only had x square and x. These type of equations where you have seen. In linear also, you had only x or y. You didn't have both x and y. So where have you seen x and y? Not exactly. These type of equations you have seen in simultaneous equations in 9th standard. Okay, you remember what simultaneous equations are? There are two equations. This is one equation. You'll have one more equation, and then you have to solve both the equations and find the value of x and y. That was simultaneous equations. What is simultaneous equations? You had how many equations? Two equations, and both the equations had x and y missing values. And when you solve the equations, you get the value of x and y. Here also it's the same thing, similar, but you're going to use, like, you're going to show it on a line. Okay, now say this is a line. The line's equation is x minus 2y plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now what does it mean? What does this equation mean? Now this line, if it's drawn on a graph, then you have multiple points. These are all different points on this line, right? And every point is represented with x and y values, correct? X coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, for example, 1 comma 3, say this point's coordinates are 1 comma 3, another point's coordinates are 0 comma 5. Okay, so these are all different points on this line. Now the question in this is, which of the following points lie on the line? Now sometimes the point might be on the line, sometimes the point might be outside, like this, minus 5 comma 0. Okay, so how do we check whether these points are on this line? Simple. Substitute the values of x and y in this equation. If the equation is getting satisfied, that means if you're getting LHS is equal to RHS, that means that point is on the line. Again, I'll tell you, look at this equation. You see the equation has x and y values. So any values you put for x and y, and if it comes equal to 0, what does it mean? It means x comma y is a point on that line. What if it did not come equal to 0? Suppose I put this value in this equation in x and y place, and if it did not come equal to 0, what does it mean? The point is outside the line. Okay, so here in this question they've given you how many points? 6 points, and they're asking you, out of these 6 points, which of the points are on the line? So what you have to do is just substitute the values in this equation and see where it is getting satisfied. Okay, so let's try for the first one, 1 comma 3. So x is 1 minus 2 into y, that's 2 into 3 plus 5. What are we getting? 1 minus 6 plus 5. Okay, you need to do addition subtraction here to get it properly. First you do 1 minus 6, or do the positive numbers. Which are the positive numbers? 1 and 5 is positive, 6 is negative. Okay, so 1 plus 5, 6 minus 6, 0. You got 0, right? So this point 1 comma 3 is on this line. Clear? All right, so do and just tell me which all points are on this line. Do fast. Just do 4. Okay. How many have you done? 0. So 1, 3, 4 lies on the line. Yes. Got it or not? Complete at home if you didn't get it. Okay, but you got the concept, right? Yes. If any point lies on the line, the equation will get satisfied. See that statement? If any point lies on the line, equation will get satisfied. Okay, satisfied means LHS will be equal to RHS. That's the meaning of getting satisfied. Okay, look at question 3. The line given by this equation passes through the point k comma 6. So now what they're telling you, this point k comma 6, it passes through the point. Understand? That means the equation will get satisfied. Calculate the value of k. Okay, so k is missing. K you should put in place of x, and 6 you should put in place of y, and the k will be the missing value in the equation. Solve the equation and find the value of k. Did you get it? Do it. Okay, I'm solving it. 2k minus 6 upon 3 is 2. 2 is equal to 7. Take the minus 2 on the right side because k term should be on the left side. So that is 7 plus 2. So 2k is equal to 9. So k is equal to 9 upon 2. Okay, next question. 6. Read question 6. Yes.
Does the line 3x minus 5y is equal to 6 bisect the join of 5 comma minus 2 and minus 1 comma 2?
Okay, so what do you understand from this? So here there's a line. This is the line. Okay, we'll just draw the line. Say this is the line. They're saying, does this line bisect the join of this and this 2 points? What is bisect? Cutting into 2 equal halves. So they're asking whether this line cuts the other line into 2 equal halves. The other line is made by joining this 5 comma minus 2, and so say this is 5 comma minus 2, and say here the point is minus 1 comma 2. So if I join this, so they're asking, does this line cut the other line into 2 equal halves? This is 1 half, this is 1 half. So you see it's cutting into 2 equal halves. This is the question. You understand the question? Before trying to solve it, we should understand the question. What's the question? Does this line bisect this line, basically? Clear? Okay. Read the question again. Does the line 3x minus 5y is equal to 6 bisect the join of this and this? Okay, now how do we check this out? This line can cut here, it can cut here, but does it cut right in the middle is the question. Okay. So for that, we need to know this point. And so how do we find this point? This point is the middle, no? Of this and this. Huh?
X and y.
So which formula?
X1, y1.
The midpoint formula. So we're using midpoint formula from the previous chapter to find this point. Huh? Once we get the coordinates for this x and y, we need to check whether this is on this line. How do we do that? Once we get these coordinates, we need to check whether this. Put the values in the equation. Put x over here, y over here, and the equation should be satisfied. Did you understand? So 2 steps. First step is what? Find midpoint. Second step, check. Substitute the values in equation. Check if point lies on the line. Do it. Got the midpoint 2 comma 0. Okay, 11th question. Do you understand this how it is? Yes. See, it's using both the chapters logics now into this, okay? So you have to understand it based on English. What is the meaning of bisection and this type of questions. There are many more. You have to do this all as homework today. I'll just explain a few questions so you can do. Look at the 7-1. The line y is equal to 3x minus 2 bisects the join of this and this. Again, what is it? Same, right? Same like this. So you find the midpoint of this. No, but here they're saying you have to find A. So what do you do here?
Just the midpoint.
Bisects means middle, so midpoint only, not section formula.
But A also.
See, here it was does the line, does it bisect? So we have to check. Here it's saying that it bisects. That means what we know is the midpoint of this,
Line.
it lies on this line. Okay, but to find the midpoint, we don't have A. So we find the midpoint using that A itself, and we'll get two coordinates with A in it. We'll get X and Y. Put that X and Y in this formula. A will be still missing, and you'll get a linear equation. Solve it and find the missing value A. Until again. First find the midpoint of this. You won't get two in proper numbers because A is there. So you'll get A by something, maybe A by 2, comma 7, something like that. Okay. Then put those coordinates in this equation. A will be missing. There will be missing value A. So you solve that equation and find A. You'll get a linear equation. Because we know that this point lies on that line, no? So that we know that when we put these values, the equation will get satisfied. So we're not checking if LHS is equal to RHS. We know that LHS is equal to RHS. We're just solving the equation. What is the missing value in that equation now? A will be missing. So simplify that equation, linear equation, you will get A. Okay. This is also same. Here also they're saying this line bisects the join of this and this. Find the value of K. So both are same. Okay, do these two as homework. Mark it. If you noticed, the equation of the line can be written in many different ways. In the first question, how is the equation of a line written? See, there is x term, there is y term, there is number term. Here, how everything was on the left side. And right side, what is there? 0. Because everything was taken to the left, there's nothing on the right. In the second question, look at how the equation was written. X and y on the left side, the number on the right side. So we can write the number on the left. If I take the number left, what will happen? It will be minus 6 equal to 0. So you can write it anyhow. Now sometimes they write it in such a way that y is the subject. Look at this equation here. In this form, y is equal to mx plus 8. So they basically what they did is they made y the subject. So that is another way to write the equation of the line. So we saw three ways to write the equation of the line. First is how? Everything on left side. Second way is how? X and y on the left side, number on the right side. And third way is how? Making y the subject. That form is called y-intercept form. When you make y the subject, that form is called the y-intercept form. We're going to use that form also and do some calculations. Okay, but remember three ways to write the equation of a line. Okay, let's see this question here. Number 11. It's a little long question now. We'll be doing simultaneous equations also. Okay, find the point of intersection of the lines this and this. Okay, so there are two lines. Okay, first line is, what's the equation of the first line? 4x plus 3y is equal to 1. And there's a second line, something like this. That line is 3x minus y plus 9 is equal to 0. So the question is, find the point of intersection of the lines. Means this point where the two lines intersect. Two lines will always intersect. Even if they are like this, one is here, they still intersect. Because this line, you have to extend it and they will intersect. These are lines, they're not line segments. What's the difference between line and line segment? Line segment has starting point and ending point. This is not line segment. This is line, which means there's no ending. We're just drawing that much, but we can extend it both ways. This way you can extend it, this way you can extend it, it'll never end. Okay, so two lines will always intersect, even if one is drawn here, one is drawn there. Because when you extend it, somewhere they will intersect. When will two lines not intersect? Huh? When will two lines never intersect? When they are parallel to each other. Understand? So there are parallel lines also, they will never intersect. Okay. All right. Now, Agni, rejoin the meeting. Okay, we'll just rejoin. Okay, so what do we have to find for this question? This point that where the two lines intersect. How do we find that point? There are two ways to do this. One way is you draw this on the graph. Okay, but we're not doing that method. But still, how is that method? How do you draw this line on a graph? Listen very carefully. You make x or y the subject. Okay, say y is the subject, and then you put different values for x, you will get a value for y. Like if I make y the subject here, what will this equation become? Take the minus y on the right side. So 3x plus 9 is equal to y. So now in place of x, I'll put different values. Say x is equal to 1. So if x is equal to 1, what will this equation become? Y is equal to 3 into 1 plus 9. So y is equal to 3 plus 9, 12. See, I got 1 point. 1 comma 12. You understand? I got 1 point. So like this, I can get multiple points. Say x is equal to 2. So y will be what? 3 into 2 plus 9. That is 6 plus 9, which is 15. See, I got second point. 2 comma 15. 2 points are enough to make a line, right? You join 2 points, I'll get a line. So like this, I can plot points and I can draw lines. Same way I can do for this also. I can draw this line on the graph. And where the two lines meet, that point will be x comma y. Like I can find the point x comma y. You understand this? Now, are we doing this method? If you're using this method, what do we need? We need graph paper. This is not a graph question. So how is the other way to find this x and y? That is why you learned simultaneous equations in 9th standard. Okay. Now I explained to you simultaneous equations in one of the chapters before. Which chapter was that? No, before that. You were doing, huh? Which one? Factor remainder and factor theorem. In that chapter, I explained to you how to do simultaneous equations. Do you remember? Okay, I hope you all remember, but I'm sure some of you have forgotten. So let's do it that method now. Okay. So what do? We write both the equations. First equation is 4x plus 3y is equal to 1. Second equation, we need to write it in the same format. That means we'll take the number term on the other side. So 3x minus y is equal to minus 9. Right, this plus 9, if you take it to the right, it will be minus 9. Okay, then simultaneously we have to solve it. How do we solve it? Is first step is make x term same or the y term same. How do we make the x term same? You need to multiply with something to make it same.
3 into 4, 4.
Okay, so 4 will do into 3, it will become 12. And this 3 will do into 4, that will become 12. So your first equation becomes, multiply everything with 3. 12x plus 9y is equal to 3. This is your first equation. I mean, this is the first equation, it became that. This is your second equation. 12x minus 4y is equal to minus 36. Okay, this is your second equation. Now we need to either add the equations or subtract the equation to eliminate the x terms. Now if you add 12x plus 12x, what will it become? So it's not getting eliminated. So we have to subtract. Subtract means all the signs will change. This will become minus, this minus will become plus, this minus will become plus. All the signs will change. So 12x minus 12x is 0. That's gone. Next 9y plus 4y. We're using the new signs that we put here. Plus 9 plus 4, 13y. 39. So y is equal to 3. So we got the y coordinate. So we got this y coordinate. Now we need to get x coordinate. How do we get x coordinate?
Put the y in the one.
Put this y in any one of the formulas. Yeah, correct. So which formula should we put y in? Substitute y in second formula, whichever you want. So that will be 3 into x minus 3 is equal to minus 9. So 3x is equal to minus 9 plus 3 minus 6. X is equal to minus 2. Do you understand? Okay, so we got x and y. Therefore, xy is equal to minus 2 comma 3. Okay, the question is not over. This is just the first part. Look at the question. The line segment, which one are you doing? 11. Okay. Find the point of intersection of this and this. Okay, so we got that. Minus 2 comma 3. Next, if this point lies on this line, find the value of k. So this point lies on the line. The line is this: 2k minus 1 into x minus 2y is equal to 4. This is the equation of this line. In this line, what lies? This point. So find the value of k. So what do you do?
Put the value.
Yeah, if a point lies on the line, substitute the values of that x and y, right? So minus 2 comma 3 will substitute in x and y place. Then what will be the missing value in this form? K will be missing. You can find k. Did you understand? Okay, right from the beginning. We don't need to do all this. This I was just showing you, right? You only need to do this starting from here. But just draw the diagram of this line so that you understand what to do. Okay, I'm solving. Anyone got the answer? 6.
Not sure.
K is equal to minus 2. Don't copy down. I skipped steps. You don't skip any step. Just compare to see if your answer is coming correct. I don't know if you did this correctly. In place of x, I put minus 2. In place of y, I put 3. Now 2k, it's 2k minus 1 multiplied with x. So I need to multiply 2k with that minus 2 and minus 1 also with the minus 2. So 2k into minus 2 is how much? And minus 1 into minus 2? Plus 2. And then minus 2 into 3 is? Minus 6. Do you understand the step? Now from this step, what I did is I took the k term on one side, numbers on one side. So k, I moved it on the right side because it was negative. And the 4, I took it to the left. So on the left side, I have plus 2 minus 6. What is 2 minus 6? Minus 4. And then this equal to 4, when I brought it to the left, it became minus 4. That's why minus 4, minus 4. Is that clear? And the minus 4k I took to the right, so it became plus 4k. So that is minus 8. So k is equal to minus 8 upon 4. Clear? You have to get it. This is the simple maths. In this, what is 10th standard? Tell me. Out of all what we solved, which is the 10th standard topic? This part. That's it. Only this is 10th standard topic. Just putting this value in x and y is 10th standard topic. Simultaneous equation is from where? Ninth. And this solving here is what? This is a linear equation. Linear equation is 7th standard. So the only new thing that you're learning in 10th is what? That this point lies on this line means that you have to substitute these values in this. That's this, only this line is 10th standard topic. Okay? Yeah, so practice all these basic things. Ask me if you have any doubt. Show me. I'll correct it. What you got correct, huh? Oh, you got minus 6. 8 and 4. Minus 4. Minus 4 k is equal to 8. So minus 4 will come down, not 4. This is minus 4. So that's why plus and minus becomes minus. The sign doesn't change when you bring it down. What is the see? Minus 4k is equal to 8. So minus 4 will come down. So k is equal to 8 upon minus 4. Okay, shall we continue? You need to practice more questions from this. So your homework you'll do which all? From the starting also you do 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. 4, 5, 7, 9, 10 is your homework. Exercise 14A. Do all of them. You can do all of them. Don't say I only did 1 and 2. Okay, we'll go to the next topic. Inclination of a line. Inclination. Okay. Inclination just means angle. Okay. Now I'm going to show it with a pen, for example. Okay. Now a line could be like this, could be anyhow, right? If the line is like this flat, that is parallel to the x-axis, the angle is how much? The angle is between the line and the x-axis. Okay, the angle is always between the line and the x-axis. So what will be the angle of this line? 0 degree, because it's parallel to the x-axis. Now, as I start lifting this pencil in this direction, what will this angle? If the angle is increasing. Okay, and now what's the angle? 90. And as you turn the side, what the angle becomes? More than 90. Don't check the angle on the left side. The angle should always be on the right side. Okay, if you check on the left side, then that's called negative inclination. So we never do negative inclination, we always have to do positive inclination. That is the angle to the right side. Okay, you see this picture over here? See how the angle is measured? It is on the right side of the line, not on the left. Because if you measure on the left, then that is negative inclination. Don't do that. Okay. See here, what is the inclination here? 45 degree. Okay. The inclination or the angle is represented by the alphabet theta. Okay. So here theta is equal to 45. Let me give two examples. Okay. Now this is your x and y axis. Say this is the line. Now the angle is around 30 degree. Give another example. So here, say the line is going like this, around 60 degree. Okay, so inclination of this line is 30, inclination of this line is 60. Now using inclination, we can find something called slope. Okay, slope is represented by the alphabet M. Okay, slope has two formulas. One formula is tan theta. Now before we start finding the slope, let me explain to you what is slope. Slope and inclination is not the same, they relate to each other. Theta is what? Theta is the inclination and m is the slope. So they are related to each other, but they're not same. Inclination is in angle, degrees. Slope is a number. Okay. Now this line, what is the theta here? 0. The slope is also 0. There's no slope. It's a flat road. Right. Now if you're going on a road like this, theta is say 45 degree and the slope is, in this example, it is 1. Here how much is the slope? As I'm increasing the slope, it's increasing. Okay, 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4. When it is 45 degree, what is the slope? 1. I'll show you with the calculation. Okay, now as this the inclination increases, what happens to the slope? It increases more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if the line is like this, what is the inclination? 90 degree, and the slope is infinite. Because imagine there's a road like this. Can you drive on this road? Can you drive down this road? No. So such a slope has how much? What's the slope? Infinity. Okay. Now I'm going to show you these values using this formula. The formula to find the slope is what? Tan theta. Okay. So let's take theta as 30 degree. So m is equal to tan 30. What is tan 30? Remember the table we learned in heights and distances? What is tan 30? Root 3. No, 1 by root 3. You remember tan's values? We need to know tan's values. Tan 0 is 0. Tan 30 is 1 upon root 3. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is root 3. Tan 90 is infinity. So remember I told you if an angle is 90, what is the slope? Infinity. Okay. Yeah. So this is the formula to find the slope. So here m is equal to tan 30. So m is equal to 1 upon root 3. So much dust. I hope none of you have dust allergy. Yeah? Keep your nose covered. If theta is 45, then what is the slope? If theta is 45, theta means inclination. 1. Yeah, tan 45 is 1. Remember I told you if the angle is 45 degree, the slope is 1. And if the angle is 90 degree, infinity, right? If theta is 90 degree, m is tan 90. Tan 90 is infinity. Okay, so this is the new thing that you have learned, slope formula. There are two formulas for slope. This is the first formula. There's one more, we'll see after this. Write down. Done? Okay, another word for slope is gradient. Slope or gradient. Inclination, I'll add another word as angle. These are words you have to memorize. Slope or gradient is represented by the alphabet M. Inclination or angle is represented by theta. Tan theta is slope. Inclination is theta, just the theta. Write that also here, angle theta. Okay, so as I said, there are two formulas to find the slope, right? One formula was this, m is equal to tan theta. The other formula to find slope m is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now this formula is used if we have the 2 points, any 2 points on the line. It could be any 2 points, doesn't have to be end points, any 2 points. If you have 2 points, one point is represented as x1 y1 and the other point is x2 y2. So if you have the 2 points, we can use this point. This is the point formula to find the slope. So two ways to find the slope. One was how? If we had the angle, see this is the angle theta. Yeah, if we had theta, we have to use this formula m is equal to tan theta. If we have 2 points, then we can use this 2-point formula to find the slope. Is this clear, everyone? When do we use the first formula to find slope? When we have the angle. When do we use the second formula? When you have 2 coordinates or 2 points. Okay? Okay, write down this formula. Look here now. See the first question there, 14b. Find the slope. Slope means m of a line whose inclination is given. So here, which formula do we use? First one, tan theta. So tell me the slope. First one, 0 degree.
1.
0 degree. Tan 0 is how much, man? You have to use the formula tan 0. So m is equal to tan 0. What is tan 0? 0. Right? Okay. Second question. 30 degree. So m is equal to tan 30, which is 1 upon root 3. What about this? 72 degree 30 minutes. How do we find this? The table is there in the book, no? Okay. Take your textbook and tell me what is the inclination for the 72 degree. Where's your books, man? No books. How many books are here? Only one. Wow, great. So no one brought books. This is your book, Ari. When did you lose it? So you didn't have a book all this while? Yeah, it was lying here. You left it here, right? Why? Easy. You finished. Gone. See it after exam now. Agni, you're supposed to come now offline. Last class you told me you'll come offline.
Yes, sir. Hi.
You have Yash's book, textbook. He wants to study.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you'll come?
Tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow morning, tuition. What time? 7:45. Okay. So yes, you have to use your textbook and find this angle. Remember, 72 degrees on the columns and 30 minutes is on the top there. So you have to see where it meets. Okay. Same way, 46 also. Do you know 46 degree? We only know 0 degree, 30 degree, 45, 60, 90. Any other angle you have to see in your textbook. Okay. Okay, here, third one. Find the slope of the line passing through the following pairs of points. Okay. Now, which formula will we use? Second formula, right? Yes, the y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So this is 2 points we have is, see the second question, -4, 0 and the origin. What is the coordinates of the origin? 0, comma 0. Next one, they haven't even given number also. Look, Hemal, a and minus b and minus a. So you just put the values in the formula and simplify as much as you can. Your answer will also be in terms of a and b. Okay. Do question 1 and question 3 right now. 3-1, 3-3. So what you're saying, seventh one you left out? Who left out? The point -3, comma 2 lies. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this one I had explained yesterday, right? These 2 points, but the line this bisects the join of this and this. So you found the midpoint of this. So there's this line, y is equal to 3x minus 2. It bisects, means it cuts the line joining. So there's a line like this. Okay, this is the midpoint of the line, of this line, not of this line. Okay, and this line, this top down line is a comma 3 and 2 comma minus 5. So this line cuts the midpoint or bisects the line, this line. Yeah. So what is the first step is to find the midpoint. What's the midpoint? Did you get it?
Yes. X is a plus 2 upon 2 and y is minus 1.
3 minus 5 upon 2, right? Correct. So a plus 2 upon 2 and this is minus 2 upon 2, which is minus 1. These are the values. Did you get this? What did this much? First step. Then now what do we know? This point, that is this point here, it lies on this line y is equal to 3x minus 2. So since x comma a plus 2 upon 2 comma minus 1 lies on the line. Which line? Y is equal to 3x minus 2. Therefore, put the values now. So y is how much? Minus 1 is equal to 3 into x. X is a plus 2 upon 2 minus 2. So minus 1 is, how do you solve this? 3 into a, 3 into 2. So 3a plus 6 upon 2 minus 2. Then
Take the
Multiply 2 with minus
2 into minus 1? We can't do that because only if the 2 is like this, whole upon 2, then we can multiply it. Okay, this 2 is only for 3a plus 6. You understand? So we cannot take the 2 on that side as of now. What we need to do is we have to make it whole upon 2. So this is upon 1. It has to be whole upon 2. So the shortcut method is how?
2 into 2.
Yeah, this 2 multiply with this 2. Whole divided by 2. So that's 3a plus 6 minus 4 whole divided by 2. Now we can take the 2 here because it's whole divided by. एक minute. So 2 will go and multiply that side. So that's minus 2 is equal to 3a plus 2. Then take the plus 2 on that side. So that's minus 4 is equal to 3a. So a is equal to minus 4 upon 3. This is the answer. Did anyone do 7-2? 7-2 you did. You did 7-2. Both are same, no? Okay, complete this and we're going to the what about this fourth question here? Did you get it? This also is given, no? What?
Yes.
14b4. How many of you got this? Find the slope of the line parallel to AB. Yeah. So if this line is parallel to AB, that means both of them have the same what? Slope. So you just find the slope of AB and that will be the same slope of the other line also. Because both lines are parallel. Okay, we'll continue. Now, yesterday we saw that if two lines are parallel, then the slopes are equal. Okay. Now we'll see what if two lines are perpendicular to each other. What's perpendicular? 90 degrees, right? So if two lines are 90 degrees to each other, this one slope is m1, this is m2, their slopes will be in the relationship of m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. This will be the relationship of their slopes. Got it? So for example, let us say m1 is equal to 3. Say the slope of m1 is 3. So what will be the slope of m2? So we put the values in this formula. So that means 3 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Take the 3 on that side. Right. Minus 1 divided by 3. Because it's multiplied here, it will get divided on the other side, right? Clear? Okay, so this is how you find a slope of a line that's perpendicular to it. Shortcut, I'll tell you. If the slope is 3, the other line, what you do, just reciprocal it and put the opposite sign. That's a shortcut. Right? 3 reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3 and put the negative sign. That is shortcut. Okay, just in your mind you need to know that rule. But when you're solving it, you have to show how you got it. Let me give you an example. Suppose m1 is 2, then m2 is minus 1 upon 2. Suppose m1 is minus 5. Minus 5. If m1 is minus 5, plus 1 upon 5. Right? Because the sign will change. If it's minus 5, reciprocal will be plus 1 upon 5. If m1 is 1 upon 3, okay, look, if it is 3, it is minus 1 upon 3, right? If it's minus 5, then the reciprocal, I mean, m2 would be, huh? 1 upon plus 5. Sign has to change, right? Yes? No? See, this 3 is becoming negative, no? So negative will become Positive. What if it's minus 1 upon 2? 2. Reciprocal and put the opposite side. Reciprocal of 1 upon 2 is 2 upon 1, right? 2 upon 1, do we need to write the upon 1? No. 3 upon 4? Minus 4 upon 3. Reciprocal and change the sign. Okay, if you don't want to do this, don't do this. Forget this. You just use the formula. Okay, I was trying to make it easy for you, but it looks like some of you are getting confused. Just put the formula. This is M1. Okay, if you want to find M2, put in the formula. M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So put the value here. M1 is what? 3 upon 4. So 3 upon 4 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So take 3 upon 4 on the other side. What will happen? Minus 1 into 4 will go up, 3 will go down. 4 upon 3. So M2 is minus 4 upon 3, which is easier. Yeah, this is easier. No, you just have to reciprocal and change the sign. Too difficult?
No.
Okay. Write on this much. We start 5-2. You read the question. You're talking to each other only. No? Are you finished writing with this?
Yes.
Okay, what is 5-2? What are they asking? Okay, so you have to find the slope of a line perpendicular to AB. So you have the coordinates of A and B. Okay, if this is A, this is B. You have to find the slope of a line which is perpendicular to AB. So this line slope you have to find. How do we do that? So if this is M1 and this is M2, we know the relationship. The relation is what? Yeah. Now can we find the slope of M1? We have the 2-point formula to find the slope. What is that formula? You studied yesterday?
X2 minus X1. No, Y1.
Y2 minus Y1 upon X2 minus X1. Once we find M1, then we can find M2. Do. Minus 1, no? So what is M2? No one got M2? Reciprocal and change the sign. 1. So here what you do, take the minus 1 on the right side. So that will be this minus 1 divided by minus 1, which is 1. Okay, question 7. I want you to read this, draw the diagram by yourself and explain it. Show me the diagram what you've done. I'll read it now once. The line passing through this point and this point is perpendicular to the line passing through these 2 points. Find A. Okay, so first line, what are the 2 points? And there's a line which is perpendicular to this. Perpendicular just means 90 degree, not midpoint, nothing. Okay, we just know it is perpendicular. It's not bisecting. You know what's bisecting? Bisecting means one line will cut the other line into 2 equal halves. Okay, this is not perpendicular, so nothing to do with midpoint. I mean, it's not bisecting, so nothing to do with midpoint. Just that they're perpendicular. Okay, second line, what's the coordinates? and okay, now A is missing. You have to find this A. Okay, how do we do this? As soon as you hear the words perpendicular, you should know what. If two lines are perpendicular, what do you know about it? There's only one thing you know about it.
The slope.
Slopes are equal. If they're parallel, they're equal. If they're perpendicular, their m1 into m2 is equal to -1. Come on, don't forget that. We just saw that today. If the two lines are perpendicular to each other, then if the slopes are parallel, then m1 is equal to m2. If the slopes are perpendicular, then m1 into m2 is equal to -1. Okay, so that's the relationship here. m1 into m2 is equal to -1. So find m1, find m2, and then put it in that formula. So for this question, what did you get m1? And A? I mean, second slope? Where's the A? There's no A. Huh? What is the slope of this line? You're supposed to find both the slopes. The first one slope you'll get correct number because there is no A in it. The second one you'll get a A in it because there is a A. Okay, stop writing. Close your book. Listen. I don't know why you're not getting.
We use the formula.
Which one? To find M2.
Yeah.
Okay, you got M2, no? What is M2? Okay, so M2 you got -6. Okay. Not -6, +6. If this is minus, then this will become plus, no?
Yeah.
Okay, now since you know the slope of this line here, it's 6. Put it in the formula of slope. What's the slope formula? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, right? In that A is missing, no? Yes. So you'll find you'll get a linear equation. M2 is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That is a slope formula. You have to use a slope formula on this. That is -1 minus 5 upon 2 minus a is equal to 6. You got an answer? See, this is the easy part in this chapter. The hard part is still not taught. That's why I was not doubtful whether I should teach this chapter to you or not. I'll just explain again. Can we find the slope of this line? Yes. Why? You have all the values. Can we find the slope of this line? We can't get the value because a is missing. So we just make it as an equation. And then we put those two values in this m1 into m2 formula and find not m2, you'll get a. In m2, there will be a is a missing value. You'll find a. See, this is the ulta method to do this. The right method is how, or what I said, find m1, find m2. How you'll find m2? Not using this formula, but using the actual m2 formula, the slope formula. How you found m1? Same way, find m2 also using the slope formula. And then put those two values in this formula here, m1 into m2 is equal to -1. A will be the missing value, you'll find A. Now what we did, we found the slope of m1 and using this in m1 into m2 formula, you're finding m2. Okay, that is also okay. And then we're using the m formula, the slope formula, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is equal to 6. Again, same thing you'll get in this formula. A is a missing value, we'll find A. Okay, tell me the answer. Solve it, tell. So here -1 minus 5 is what, Himakshi? Kathy? So this will become -6 upon 2 minus a is equal to 6. Now what do we do next step? Okay, so what will it become? This is correct. You have to cross multiply. Yes. Okay, so here, what's the next continuation?
12 minus 6.
See brackets. See here also we learn about brackets. See all these brackets. What do you do in these brackets? Multiply. So that will be minus 6.
12 minus 6.
12 minus 6a. Next, what to do?
Make, make 6
Makes okay. 6a is the a terms. This minus 6 and 12 are the number terms. So I'll take the minus 6a to the left, so it becomes plus 6a. And then here I have 12 plus 6. So a is equal to 18 upon 6. A is equal to 3. Well, let's do the eighth one. Different type of question. Without using distance formula, show that the points A, B, and C are the vertices of a right angle triangle. So A, B, and C are the vertices of a right angle triangle. Okay, so let me say this is A, this is B, and this is C. And they're telling what? Vertices of a right angle triangle, which means right angle triangle is what? One of the angle is 90. It could be A, it could be B, it could be C. We don't know. Right now, I drew it in such a way that B is the right angle, but we don't know which is the right angle. So now they're saying that you have to show that these 3 points are the vertices of a right angle triangle. How will you prove this? If we had a graph paper, we could have drawn it on the graph, plotted the points, connected it, and we can see, okay, 90 degrees there. But without plotting it, how will we do it? Now they're saying don't use distance formula. If you use distance formula, we can find the distance of A to B, B to C, and A to C. And what can we do with the distances? There is a formula for right angle triangles. What is that formula? Like how do you prove that the 3 sides are the sides of a right angle triangle? Pythagoras formula. Pythagoras formula is what? The hypotenuse, the longest side. AC square is equal to the other two squares, other two sides you have to add. That is AB square plus BC square. This is Pythagoras formula, right? If the sides are the sides of a right angle triangle and you put it in this formula, it will get satisfied. Means LHS will be equal to RHS. So they're saying don't use this method. Don't find AB, don't find BC and AC and then put in this. Without using this formula, you have to prove that these 3 are the vertices of a right angle triangle. So what can we do? Do we see AB and BC are perpendicular to each other? Which means what? M1 into M2 will be equal to minus 1. So you have to find the slope of AB, that is M1. Then you have to find the slope of BC, which is M2. And then put in the formula and check M1 into M2 if you're getting as minus 1. If you're getting minus 1, what does it mean? It means AB is perpendicular to BC, which means that this is the right angle triangle. Do you understand? Now, this is assuming that the right angle is at B, but we don't know where the right angle is, right? It could be at A, it could be at C also, which means you need to also find the slope of AC. We'll call that M3. M3. Okay. Now you have to try. We don't know which one will be perpendicular. If you want to check if A is perpendicular, if the perpendicular is over here, then what we need to do? We need to multiply M1 into M3, and we should get minus 1. If you want to check if the perpendicular is at C, then what do we need to do? M2 into M3, we need to multiply and check if we're getting minus 1. So one of this we will get minus 1. We don't know which one, but any one. If we get minus 1 for any of the multiplication of the slopes, then we can prove that ABC are the vertices of a right angle triangle. Did you understand this? So I'll say this once again. There are 3 ways to prove this is a right angle triangle. The first way is how? Plot it on a graph. Right, you'll plot A, you'll plot B, you'll plot C, and then you can see, you can look itself and you can tell it's a right angle. That's one way. We're not doing that. Second way is how? Putting in the Pythagoras formula, finding the length of AB. How will you find the length of AB? Distance formula. We saw that in the last chapter. Square root of what? X2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus 1 whole square. So like that we can find the distance of all the three sides, put in the formula and prove it. But that also we are not supposed to do because they said in the question what? Without using distance. So the third method is how? Using the perpendicular sides. Okay, we don't know which two sides are perpendicular, so we try all the three and see which one is perpendicular. Do you understand how to do this? Did you get any two slopes perpendicular to each other? I mean, satisfying that formula? Did you get M2?
Yes. M2 is one of them.
So that's not. Huh?
M2 is minus 11. Yes, minus 11.
And M3?
M3 is 4 upon 12. I'm getting 4 upon 4.
So no, 4 upon 3. So is any of the two slopes satisfying the formula M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1?
No.
See here, M2 is 6 minus 4 upon 10 plus 4. Correct? 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 upon 14. That is 1 upon 7. That's all. 10 seconds it should take. Not more than that. M3. M3 is A and C. So 6 plus 2
Yes.
upon 10 minus 4. Like this fast you have to do 6 plus 2 8, 10 minus 4 6, so that is 4 upon 3. Now out of the m1 m2 and m3, which two if we multiply we are getting minus 1? Means m1 and m3, look at m1 and m3, 3 upon minus 3 upon 4, and see this, that is following that rule, reciprocal with a different sign. That means these are the two numbers, when you multiply you will get minus 1. So let's try that. Try m1 into m3, that is minus 3 upon 4 multiplied with 4 upon 3. So 3 3 gets cut, 4 4 gets cut. What is remaining?
1.
Minus 1. That's what we need, no?
Yes.
If the m1 m2 into m, if any of them, if you multiply and if you get minus 1, that means those two sides are perpendicular to each other. So which are the two sides perpendicular to each other?
M1
Which sides? M1 is the slope. Which are the sides?
AB and AC.
AB and
AC.
AC are perpendicular to each other. So was that diagram correct?
Yes.
No. In our diagram, I drew AB and BC perpendicular. Remember, I said we don't know what is perpendicular, right?
So you have to put 90.
90 degree at A. Yes, at A it will be 90 degree because AB and AC are the sides perpendicular. Read this next question, that is 9, and tell me how will we do 9. So here what have they given?
The sides. The points.
The 4 vertices.
Yes.
4 points, not the side. Okay, they've given 4 vertices and they're asking you, are these the vertices of a parallelogram? So it's same like the previous question. In previous question, you have to show that these 3 vertices are the vertices of a right angle triangle. How did we do that?
Find all
Find all the 3 slopes, and any 2 slopes should be perpendicular, not equal, perpendicular. Perpendicular means m1 into that m2 should be minus 1. So we got one set, right? Now for ninth question, what do we do? We have to prove that these 4 points are the points of a vertices of a parallelogram. What's a parallelogram? You know, 10th standard is how, no? They ask you questions from everything you've learned in your whole life. So you need to know what's a parallelogram. Okay? What's a parallelogram? Do you know the shape is called a parallelogram? What is the properties of a parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal. What else? Know the rule? Hmm? No sides. 4 sides. Yeah, it's a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides. Okay, what else? Why is it called parallelogram? Opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so this two sides are parallel to each other, and these two sides are parallel to each other. Okay, how do we prove that these 4 vertices are the vertices of a parallelogram? Also, when I'm writing, will I write A, B, and C? Where should I put? Left side or right side? No, it should go in order. It should go in a circle. You can't go like Z. Okay. So if A is here, B is here, where will C be? Here, and D will be here. Understand? Any order you can write, but it should be in a continuous circle. If I start A over here and put B over here, then C will be here and D will be here. Okay. All right. Tell me. In this logic, you have to only think. That's why this is logical. Using.
To find 4 slopes.
Okay, we'll find the 4 slopes: M1, M2, M3, M4, and then
If we multiply 2 slopes and if we get answer,
that means those two sides are equal. If we do M1 into M2, and if we get -1, what does it mean? They're perpendicular. So what does this have to do with perpendicular? What are you trying to prove? Which sides are perpendicular? They're not perpendicular. This has nothing to do with perpendicular. This is not a square or rectangle. Only square and rectangle has perpendicular sides. This one's name is not perpendicular or whatever. This is parallelogram. M1 should be equal to M2. M3. These two sides are parallel to each other. So M1 should be equal to M3 and M2 should be equal to. That's what you have to do. This is not perpendicular. This is parallelogram. So you have to see that the opposite sides are parallel. Do you understand what to do here?
yes,
Find all the 3 slopes and M1 should be equal to M3. Remember, parallel sides have. How are the slopes related?
they'll be equal.
They'll be equal. That's what you have to prove. Is that clear or not? Will you be able to do this without my help? You have to. This is logic. Okay, and then simply you just have to find M1, M2, M3, M4. You should be able to solve this whole question within 1 minute. Or say 2 minutes. Okay, 30 seconds to find each slope. M1, M2, M3, M4. Can you do it in 2 minutes? Let me put a 2-minute timer. So, did you get M1 and M3 equal? M2 and M4 equal? All got it.
M1 and M3 are equal. M2 and M4.
Hence proved, you should write. Since opposite sides are parallel, these are the vertices of a parallelogram. Tell me the 10th one. Those of you finished, explain to me how to do the 10th one. All are done. Tell me, 10th one. These 4 points are the vertices of a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means what?
4 sides.
4-sided shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Some shape. It's not of any particular. It's not a parallel. Yeah, it's not any regular shape. It's just 4-sided shape. That's a quadrilateral. Show that the quadrilateral obtained on joining the midpoints of its sides is a parallelogram. So what do you have to do? Join all the midpoints. So midpoint of this. Okay, like you have to find all these midpoints, and then when you join these midpoints, you should get what? You should get a parallelogram. So how do we do this? First, find the midpoints of each of them. Midpoint of AB using midpoint formula, you'll get this. We'll call it P. Then find the midpoint of BC. We'll call that Q. Then find the midpoint of DC. We'll call that R. And then find the midpoint of AD. We'll call it S. Then what you have to do? You have to prove that this is a parallelogram, no?
Yes.
Same like what we did before. Find the slope of PQ. We'll call that M1. Find the slope of RQ. We'll call that M2. Find the slope of SR. M3. Then SP. We'll call that M4. And then what should happen?
M1 and M3 should be equal.
M1 and M3 should be equal because they are parallel. And M2 and M4 should be equal because they are parallel. Do you understand? Like these questions can come. Just one extra step. The extra step is finding the midpoints. Okay, draw this as question number 10. Just draw the diagram, complete it at home. Can drawing this? What is the meaning of the word collinear? If I say 3 points are collinear, what does it mean? Collinear means three or points in a straight line. That is collinear. Suppose all these 3 points are on a straight line, we call these 3 points collinear. Okay, so here they have given 3 points P, Q, and R, and they're asking to show that it is collinear. How do we show that this is collinear? One way is plotting it on the graph and then drawing a line, and it will all be on the same line. You understood? But again, we can't use graphs. Second of all, they are not actual points. See the values. For P, it is not 5 and 6 or any numbers. You can't plot it also. They have given in terms of A, B, C. So P is A, comma B plus C. Q is B, comma C plus A. And R is C, comma A plus B. Those are the coordinates. So how will you prove that they are on the straight line? 5 more seconds. Think, think, think. No, we don't know where the Q is. It might be here, it might be there. So we don't know the ratio. We don't know if it's midpoint. We just know that they're in a straight line. Nothing? Okay. Listen. Find the slope of PQ. We'll call that M1. Find the slope of QR. We'll call that M2. And how should their slopes be? Equal, because PQ is parallel to QR. PQ is parallel to QR, right? If they're on a straight line, that means these two lines are parallel to each other. Did you understand now? All understood? What? No? Okay, leave it. This is a little high thinking. Okay, if you're able to understand, do it. If you can't, then skip it. Okay, just draw this diagram. Tell him, explain to him. Let me see. Eman, explain to him. Umar, what is meaning of parallel lines? Yeah, what's the meaning of that? Same? Same line? You have take a pen, take his pen. Put the two pens parallel to each other. Okay. Are these still parallel to each other? Yes? Are these two pens parallel to each other? Here they're parallel? Here they're parallel? Here? Here? Yes, they're still parallel. Now? No, they're not parallel now. Like this, they're parallel, right? So these are your two lines, PQ and QR. Find the slope of this, find the slope of this. If the slopes are equal, then they are parallel. Understood or not? That's what I'm saying. Find M1, find M2. Both should be equal to each other. M1 should be equal to M2. Don't do it. Just complete it at home. All these things you have to do at home. Just write this much. See the 15th question. A, B, and C are the vertices of a triangle. Find the slope of the altitude of AB. It's getting more complex. I'll just explain. If you're getting it, good for you. Altitude means height. Okay. So suppose this is A, B, C. They're saying find the slope of the altitude of AB. Altitude of AB means from AB you have to find the height. The height will always be perpendicular to the base. Do you know that? Height will always be perpendicular to the base. So they're asking to find what? The slope of this line. We'll call this CD. Did you understand the first part? Yeah. Find the slope of the altitude of AB. Okay, that means this one slope. We'll call this M2. How do we find M2? Do we know D? No, we don't know D. Do we know C? Yes, but that's not enough. We need C and D. So how to find slope of M2? We'll find midpoint, but D is not midpoint of Huh? Section. But what's the ratio? We don't know the ratio. See, altitude means this line. Median means a line joining the midpoint of AB. If this point is the midpoint of AB, then this line here is called the median. Do you understand the difference between median and altitude? Median is a line from C to the midpoint of AB. Now, if you want to find slope of altitude, we have to find the midpoint of AB using midpoint formula. So then we get this point. So we have 2 points. We have C and this point here. We'll call it E. And we can find the slope of C. Right? What did I say? How can we find the slope of C, the median?
Midpoint of A and B.
Midpoint of AB, and then we get this point. So now we have 2 points. So we can use the 2-point formula to find the slope, M. Okay? But now altitude, how do we find the slope of altitude? We can't find D because D is not midpoint. It's not any, there's no way to find D. So how do we find the altitude? Can we find the slope of AB? Can we find the slope of AB? Yeah. Now AB and this M1 and M2 are perpendicular to each other, no? So if you know M1, we can find M2. Yes?
Yes.
That's how we do it.
A and B are parallel.
A and B.
No. CD, B.
CD and DB we don't know D, so AB. CD and AB are perpendicular. No, see, I put the sign here, perpendicular. Altitude is always perpendicular to the base. Whenever you hear perpendicular, think of M1 into M2 is -1. Whenever you hear of parallel, think of M1 is equal to M2. All these questions that we did today are based on parallel or perpendicular. Did you notice?
Yes.
Look at every question. We started with this triangle. Here, what was the rule? Perpendicular. Two sides are perpendicular. Then we have to parallelogram. Here, parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Here, parallel. PQ is parallel to SR and so on. Collinear. PQ is parallel to QR. Altitude, perpendicular. CD is perpendicular to AB. So every question that we did today was based on either parallel or perpendicular. If two lines are parallel, then slopes are equal. If two lines are perpendicular, then slopes are in the formula of M1 into M2 is equal to -1. So next, find the slope of the median AD. See, this is what I just now explained. Median AD. That means A to D. Now this is, we have taken D over here, but they are telling us to take median AD. So that means A to, where is D? D will be where? AD is a median, so yeah, it will be at the midpoint of CB. This is your point D. So how do you find the slope of AD? Find the midpoint of CB, we'll get D. Now using 2-point formula A and D, we can find slope. Next, slope of a line parallel to AC. So this is AC, there's a line parallel to AC. How will you find the slope of this line? Equal to
AC.
AC slope. Find AC slope. That slope only will be this same, no? Because they're parallel to each other.
Slope means AC slope.
Slope of AC. How do you find slope of AC? 2-point formula. What's the 2-point formula to find slope? This is the 2-point formula to find slope. So find the slope of AC, and that same slope will be the slope of this line also, because they're parallel to each other. Is that clear? Draw this for 15th question, complete it at home. There is one more topic which I wanted to finish today, but we won't be able to do it today. We'll have to do it in the next class. Is this much clear for everyone? Do you realize this chapter is a little logical? So you have to work harder on this chapter. You have to go finish everything by yourself today. How many questions I gave? How many I gave to do as homework? Okay, so mark some more questions that you can do. So 14B, which all I give to do? 10, 11, 14. 10, 11, 15. Okay, so let's see this question number 16. The slope of the side BC of a rectangle ABCD is 2 upon 3. Find the slope of the side AB. Okay, so first we draw the, all right, anyway. So ABCD is the rectangle and they're saying the slope of the side BC. Where is BC? This is BC. The slope of BC is how much? We'll call that M1. The slope is 2 upon 3. What is the slope of the side AB? Okay, what is AB slope now? So since they're perpendicular, M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So what is M2? Minus 3 upon 2. Okay, this is the first answer. Okay, next the slope of the side AD. What is AD slope? Come on, 1 second. Equal to M1. So this is 2 by 3. This is minus 3 by 2. That's it, not finished. Yeah. So here AB is perpendicular to BC. Therefore, M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. For AD, you read AD is parallel to BC. Therefore, slope M is equal to slopes are equal. Therefore, slopes are equally connected. Therefore, slopes and then write M is equal to 2 by 3. So something, give a reason and write it. Okay. Any other doubt? Shall we go to the next topic? Okay, the next topic, look at this diagram over here. So this is the x and the y axis, x-axis and the y-axis, and this is a line that's drawn. And this line is cutting. See, this fellow is not listening. When I'm teaching a new topic, listen. There is a you won't understand. This line, this is a line over here. It is cutting the x-axis at this point A, and it's cutting the y-axis at the point B. Now this distance from this origin to this point where it touches the x-axis is called x-intercept. And this point, this distance here from origin to the point where the line cuts on the y-axis is called the y-intercept. Okay. Now, suppose I mark. Look, what will suppose? Okay, suppose the x-intercept is 4. That means see, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what is this coordinates of this point A? 4, 0. 4 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. So the coordinates of the point A is 4, 0, and the x-intercept is 4. Clear? Now for this point, suppose this point is, suppose it's 5 here. Okay, so what is the coordinates of the point B? 0, 5. What is the y-intercept here? 5. So the y-intercept and the x-intercept is just that one number. It's not a coordinate. It is just a single number, that distance. Is that clear? Okay, just draw this, write the points, and write what is the y-intercept and what is the x-intercept. Okay, now we're going to learn about equation of a line. Before this, we saw the equation of a line, and what did we do with the equation of the line? Did we do anything? Checking if a point lies on the line. Okay, now we're going to make the equation of a line. Understood? So there are different ways to make the equation of a line. There are 3 ways to make the equation of a line. Okay. So type 1 to make the equation. One thing I forgot to mention, that is the y-intercept is represented with the alphabet C. Y-intercept, the alphabet to represent y-intercept is C. So for this diagram that you just now drew, what was C? 5. Yes or no? Check your diagram. 5, right? 5 was the y-intercept. So C is 5. And you also remember M. What was M? M is the slope. Okay. So now the first form to form the equation of a line is using the M and the C. If you have the M, that is, if you have the slope and you have the y-intercept, you can make the equation of a line. Okay. So the form here is y is equal to mx plus c. If you have M and C, you put the values of M and C in this equation and you get the equation of a line. This is the one easy way to find the equation of a line. Huh. Okay, so there are three ways. This is the first way. Okay, so let us look at the question. The question like this. See the first question. Find the equation of a line whose y-intercept is 2 and slope is 3. So, what is given here? Y-intercept. That is which alphabet? C. C is equal to 2 and slope is 3. M is equal to 3. So, put these values in this formula. So, y is equal to 3x plus 2. That's it. This is the equation of the line. So remember I told you you can make an equation of a line where y is the subject. Three ways to write the equation of a line itself. One where everything is on one side of the equal to, and on the other side what is there? 0. Second method is how x and y is on one side, number is on the other side. And the third method is this one, where y is on one side and everything else is on the other side. This form is called the y-intercept form. Y-intercept form. You can rearrange this and write it in any other form that you want. Okay, like if you take the 3x on this side, on the left side, 3x will become minus 3x. So don't do that. Let's take the y on that side. So we have 3x minus y plus 2 is equal to 0. So this is one way to write the equation of a line. There's another way. You can take the 2 on the other side. So then you have 3x minus y is equal to minus 2. These are three different ways of writing the equation of the line. Any one of this is right. Okay. All right. Write this first question and do the second one. I'll just come in a minute. Understood?
Yes.
Tell what you understood.
There, there are 2 points, between one on x-axis and one on y-axis. The x-axis,
No, a line
yeah,
cuts the x-axis and the y-axis.
yes,
So where it cuts the x-axis, that point is called the x-intercept.
yes.
Where the line cuts the y-axis is called the y-intercept. Just that number.
Maybe use of coordinate function.
X-axis में भी रहती है, y
Y point is always 0. So only the x value is the x coordinate. On the y-axis, x value is always 0. So y value is the y-intercept. Now here in this, we need the y value. That y-intercept is represented with the alphabet C. Slope is represented with the alphabet M. Using these two values, we're going to find the equation of the line. To find the equation of the line, this is the first form. It's called the y-intercept form. Y-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus c. So in this, we will substitute m and c. So m was 3 in this question. Slope is 3. So m is 3. We put in place of m. And c is the y-intercept, that is 2. So this is the slope of the line. I mean, this is the equation of the line in the y-intercept form. Then I took y on this side, on the right side, so I got the normal form where x, y, and the number is on the left side. Then I showed the other form also where you take the number on the other side. So these are three ways to write the equation of the line. Any of these ways you write, your answer is correct. Second one, who all got it? Second one, find the equation of a line whose y-intercept is -1 and inclination is 45 degree. So here what have they given? Y-intercept, that means C, and inclination means what? Theta, that is, not M. They didn't give slope here, they give theta. So, sorry, 45 degree. Can we put this value in place of M? No, we need to find M. How do we find M? Tan theta. That's a formula, right? If you have theta, we can find slope using tan theta. So, tan 45. How much is tan 45? 1. So, we got the M. So, now we put in the y is equal to mx plus c form. In place of y and x, you don't put anything because y and x has to be there in the equation, right? See the equation, there is the x and y. So x and y, you leave it as it is. So 1x minus 1. Or
x minus y
minus 1 or equal to 1. Okay, so yeah, two forms are enough. You can just write this much. Just listen to this. I'll explain to you this. So this is one method to find the equation of a line. The second method is called the point slope form. Now this form is used if they have given a point and the slope. Point means xy or x1 y1. We'll not call it xy because xy will leave it as it is. This point we'll call it as x1 y1 and the slope is m. So if you have these two things, the point and the slope, then we can use this form here. See this form? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So we have x1 y1, that is the coordinates of that point, and we have m, which is the slope. So put that in this formula and you'll get the equation of a line. You understand? So the type 1, the first form was y-intercept form. The second form is called point slope form. There's one more which we'll see after that. That's a 2-point form. So right now you do write down this equation, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. I'll give you a question on that.
constant.
3, 4, 3, 4, 6. Okay, 3, 4, 6 you do. I didn't record. So just a quick summary of what all we have seen in this chapter. First we saw two formulas to find the slope. What are the two formulas to find the slope? Oh, sorry. M is equal to tan theta. When do we use this formula? When we have the angle theta. Theta angle is also called the inclination. No. Yeah.
Yes.
And m is the gradient or slope, right? Okay. The second formula to find slope was
y2
minus y1
y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. When do we use this formula?
when we have the coordinate.
When we have 2 points. Okay. Then we saw relationship between two lines. Parallel lines means the slopes will be equal. Perpendicular lines means the slopes will be
And 1 into m equal to
minus 1.
okay. That's the next thing we saw. Then after this we saw how to make the equation of a line. So we have one formula is using MC. One formula is using 2 points. One formula is okay. M and point, and last formula is using 2 points. Right? How do we find the equation of a line using M and C? Y is equal to mx plus c form. How do we use point and slope?
y minus y1
Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. How do we use 2 points to find the equation?
to find the slope first,
Find the slope first,
then put it.
and then we use this formula. Right? That's it. This is the whole chapter. The questions will come very complicated, but you have to understand this concept and somehow use it and do the questions like this. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's see previous year's questions. See what came for exam once. Collinear. In this chapter, what did you understand about collinear points? If A, B, and C are collinear, then
The slope will be equal.
the slope of AB will be equal to the slope of BC. That is a concept, right? Look at the 8th question. A line through origin, coordinates of origin is 0, 0. It meets the line at this line. So there are two lines. A line through origin meets the line, this one, at right angles. Right angles means perpendicular. Immediately you should think m1 into m2 is equal to -1, right? At the point x, this is the point where these two lines meet. Find the coordinates of x. Okay, so how do we do this? First thing, you draw the diagram. Okay, so there is one line like this, there's another line like this, both are perpendicular to each other, and they meet at what? This point is x. Find the coordinates of x. Huh? What is 0, 0? So the first line, it passes through origin. So one of the point on this is 0, 0. And we have a line through origin meets the line. Okay, so this other line's equation is given. X is equal to 3y plus 2. That's all we have. On the first line, we have 1 point. On the second line, we have the equation, and you have to find this point. Like this, the questions will come. So tell me, what all you understand from this?
Define x where the 2 points or the 2 lines.
Yeah, but how?
First,
Perpendicular.
yes.
Because the two lines are perpendicular, therefore
M1 into M2.
so if we know m1, we can find m2. If you know m2, we can find m1. So can we find the slope of any of the lines? See, this we have the equation. If we change the equation into the y-intercept form, we can find m. Remember that?
Yes.
So once we get slope of this line, we can find the slope of the other line. So now for the second line, we have a point and we have the slope. So using point slope, we can find that one's equation.
And the coordinates of
And then, yeah, when you have two equations, you can simultaneously solve the equations and find x and when you have two equations and you solve them simultaneously, you get x and y. That is a point where the two lines meet. Do you understand?
yes.
Yeah, that's the only way. If you had any one of the coordinates of this, suppose I had 3 comma y, then I could have substituted this 3 in the equation of this line and found out y. But we don't have any of the points. We don't have, right? So the only way to get x is simultaneously solve both the equations. You understand? So what's the first step?
Find the slope.
Find slope of this line. Second step,
Find the slope of second line.
slope of second line using this formula. Third step, no, find equation of this line. Using the point slope formula, find the equation of this line here. And then fourth step is solve the simultaneous equations to find the coordinates of point x. Long, right? Question looked very small, but to solve it is very big. You think you'll be able to solve this? Let's do this one question and then we'll end. Okay, I've written the steps. This is m1, this is m2. So first step, find m1. How do we find m1?
Make y the subject.
Make y the subject, not 3y the subject,
Y.
but y the subject. Once we get m1, then we find m2 using this formula.
M1 is 3. Yes.
3y, take the 2 on that side. So 3y is equal to x minus 2. Then take the 3 down. So y is equal to x minus 2 whole divided by 3. But take it separately. You have to do separately for both. Okay, so what is m now?
X minus 6.
M is, see, this is of the form 1 upon 3. Whatever is multiplied with x is the m, right? So 1 upon 3 is multiplied with x. So we got m1. 1 upon 3.
You can take it as 3.
No, 1 upon 3 is not 3.
3 upon
3 upon 1 is 3. So we got m1. Then m2 is what? You have to receive
minus 3.
minus 3. Then using point and m2 find the equation. You know the formula, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Once you get that equation, solve them simultaneously and find xy, which is the coordinates of this point x. Do. This is your equation. 3x plus y is equal to 0.
Yes.
So x minus 3y is equal to 2 and 3x plus y is equal to 0. These are your two equations.
Yes.
So into 3, that will be 3x minus 9y is equal to
Only one you have to multiply.
anything to make something same. So here x terms are same. What you multiplied with what?
They are telling you have to multiply both of them.
Here you multiply into 1. Means don't do anything. Its aim is to make
Both the
either x term same or y term same. Okay, so this became this. X became 3x. Now we have to subtract both because signs are already same. So this will be minus, this will be plus, this will be minus. So this is 0. Y plus 9, y becomes 10y, and 0 minus 6 becomes minus 6. So y is equal to minus 6 upon 10. That is 3 minus 3 upon 5. Then substitute that y in any of the equation. Check the answer.